Hello, hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for September 25th, 2024, Season 3, Episode 269. I am Mayor Watt, and that's the visualizer, and the voice will come later, but I'm going to introduce you to all 10 of our articles that we're going to talk about today. The Sentient AI and I will talk about these. Duolingo Keyboard, Ancient Egyptian Mummies and Tech, a 34-mile-long tunnel, trains continued. It's an ongoing 3-year-long discussion about trains. Outer Banks continue to collapse. Vertical farming. Click to cancel California edition. Do not pay has to pay. Thanks for the application. Now, bye-bye. And the ZuckBot. That and more. All right. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
And I feel like you're going to dox me one of these. Just drop that out there. Okay, well, let's get into today's articles. I was going to rant about something, but that's okay. Let's do this, because I'm really curious about what the heck Duolingo has. A physical keyboard will now annoy you to practice your scales as much as your French. The language learning app worked with Loog, L-O-O-G, to create a digital piano that pairs with Duolingo music and has a small wooden stand for your phone as well.
I guess they couldn't just take over the foreign language market.
Kyle Barr put the article together. It's over at gizmodo.com. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So the language learning app worked with Loog to create a digital piano that pairs with Duolingo music. It has a small wooden stand for your phone as well. I want this because I want to play around. I want to learn piano. And I didn't even know that Duolingo made a music app.
No, let alone a piano.
Now this has to be in Wanted, so we'll have to do a show for Wanted. All right, well, which is a weekly show that we do here in ohmTown, and it's called Wanted, and it's about gadgets and gear. So anyway, Duolingo's owl mascot, a creature that grew so tired of reminding you to practice your French that he caught an awful bird flu apparently. He'll now be hounding you to get your damn hands on those piano keys and practice your chords. Oh, I really want this. I mean, I've got a full-size 88-key keyboard in another area of the mayoral mansion. I mean, it's quite a walk to get there.
But you still need this.
Yeah, I mean, a trek to the other side of the estate is just untenable. You know, nobody does that. Come on. Anyway, promises that the $250 beginner's keyboard, that's a pretty pricey beginner's keyboard, is a piano, nothing more, nothing less. To unpack that, Loog and Duolingo Piano is certainly a small piano for bare beginners. Bare beginners? Not the rare beginners, but bare as in like naked beginners.
Well, that's kind of awkward.
And that's odd too, because when I practice my piano in the nude out in the park, everybody gets really upset. Anyway, it's a 19-inch wide piano, weighs less than 4 pounds. Piano has built-in stereo speakers, a headphone jack, ports for an octave shifter, and a sustain pedal. This thing is awesome. Maybe it is worth, I mean, just for the portability of it. It seems kind of derpy looking, though. Is that felt? It looks like felt.
Right, which that's not going to be very... It won't be holding up if it's in the rain or if somebody spills something on it.
It looks like fabric, right? That doesn't look like metal or something synthetic. I don't know. Let's see what else it says in here. The only physical control beyond the keys is a wooden volume dial. As for how it sounds, Duolingo promises the included note samples made to recreate a physical piano. It has pressure sensitivity that will change the sound depending on how hard or soft you jam on a key, which that's amazing too for a tiny little piano.
That's true, because a lot of full-size keyboards don't have that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the language learning app says it worked with Loog, a company with a lot of experience making guitars, to craft a 3-octave 37-key piano specifically for Duolingo users. The company is mainly known for releasing children's learning instruments through Kickstarter, and Loog's on the verge of releasing its own Loog piano, first unveiled on Kickstarter last year. It's pretty cool. I don't know. It's $250. $250.
I guess you have to think about how many times you're going to play that. And if you only play it like once, that's pretty pricey.
Yeah, motivation. If you are the victim of, I don't know, undiagnosed ADHD, you may not want to be interested in gadgets and gear from the Wanted channel, because you'll buy it and it'll just kind of sit there.
I thought you were going to say if you were the victim of...
Wait, they're still streaming? Oh, God. Anyway, I want this, so we'll have to add that to the Wanted channel. Let's keep moving, though. Time waits for no one. Non-sequitur news is where the next article is. Oh, wait. Did I say the name? Kyle Barr Gizmodo? Yeah, the last article.
You did.
Okay. So this next article is over in non-sequitur news as well. 8 ways new technology changed the way we think about ancient Egyptian mummies. Oh, are we actually going to finally disclose that it's all aliens?
I don't think we're ready for that.
So technology has revolutionized the way that we see mummified remains from ancient Egypt. With CT scans, Egyptologists can now see the remains in unprecedented detail without unwrapping them. There are 8 recent findings using this technology that changed the way we think about mummies. Mummy.
I don't know that most people have a way they think about mummies.
Do you not think about mummies? According to that past article, right? That we think about pirates or something like that. Do you remember that? There was some article that men think about pirates.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
No, men don't think about pirates. Although, ironically, I'm working on a tattoo, and
does it involve a pirate?
It does involve a pirate. Anyway, Marianne Guineau and Jenny McGrath over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. Do you think that this mummy is like another mummy and freaks out inside a CT scan?
Okay, that's funny. I was going to say, do you think it gets claustrophobic? So, yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I think they're dying to get scanned. No?
I think they're already pretty enclosed, so if they're claustrophobic, they have bigger problems.
Yeah. They're probably really afraid, but they don't have the guts to leave. Anyway. So, here are 8 recent findings. So, let's see if they broke it out. Whoa. That is so cool. I've never seen any of this stuff because I haven't looked back at ancient Egyptian mummies and I don't know how long. I'm fascinated by it, but never really, don't have time for everything that I am interested in, let alone this. I'm interested in this too. Anyway, the scan actually shows different levels of detail from the outer casing all the way down to what looks like the x-rays of the mummy, as well as like what also appears muscular and bone structure and stuff like that. Different.
Yeah, this
different
is
levels.
really interesting.
Different levels of resolution, I suppose, but it's really fascinating. Yeah, it shows like the bones, the skeletal remains still inside the mummy without it being unpackaged. You know, there used to be so many mummies that there in Europe, they would have unwrapping parties. Like somebody would buy a mummy and they would have a party and unwrap it.
Yeah, that's pretty horrifying, but
Yep.
It's also telling that there were quite a few of them.
So, about 2,300 years ago, a wealthy teens family buried him with 49 amulets made of gold and semi-precious stones. His body was sitting in the basement of Cairo's Egyptian Museum for over 100 years. I guess that's this guy. So, all of the metal stuff is showing up.
Oh, okay, right.
So Cairo University radiologist Sahar Salim took CT scans of the mummified remains. She and her fellow researchers discovered something unique about the 14 or 15-year-old who's known as the Golden Boy. He was, not snipped. Okay, well, anyway. It's possible he simply hadn't undergone a procedure, but the resolution, that's the takeaway of this, is the resolution allowed them to see this.
But it also impacts like where his origin may have been from. Like they think he might not have been from Egypt. But I agree. I mean, that's pretty spectacular technology.
Yep. So it could have come from any number of places because it indicates a different
culture.
Yeah. So it could have been Nubian, Greek, Persian, anywhere from Asia Minor where they weren't snipped. So, however, it's speculation. So who knows? CT scans revealed a pregnant teen died giving birth to twins. There's apparently a lot of teens. Oh, I'm really sorry.
Can unsee that.
Yeah. So researchers took CT scans of what's been named a screaming mummy to learn more about her death and embalming, but not quite sure what they take away from that. Because, yeah, this actually happens in people sometimes. I don't know if I should continue even scrolling through this because all of it seems to be...
I'm afraid of what I'm going to see.
Terrifying. So this mummy, the sarcophagus, looks like it's a foot taller than the mummy itself.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I didn't know they did that. I assumed it kind of matched.
3,500-year-old royal mummy of Pharaoh Amenhotep I. The technology provided a digital recreation of the remains in incredible detail. Scientists saw Amenhotep I's face, including the delicate wispy hairs on the back of his head. Oh my God. We know more or less what he looks like. Wow, that's pretty fascinating. Died suspiciously young at the age of 35. But they get to see everything. Had curly hair, a protruding upper set of teeth, a pierced left ear. No sign of any kind of physical illness on his remains. Wow. What was thought of as a male priest was actually a woman. Egyptians killed a snake using it like a bullwhip, apparently. That's another one of the CT scans that was done. As many as 70 million animals were embalmed by ancient Egyptians over the years.
Wow.
What the hell? And they scanned a mummified cat. So ancient Egyptians may have treated flesh wounds with bandages is another thing that they found through this.
That's interesting too. But so I think one of the takeaways here is be happy you live in modern times.
And that you're not a snake.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep going, though. The next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. 34-mile-long tunnel project could add even more lanes to widest highway in North America. Ontario's Highway 401 is the widest highway in North America. So, yes, North America is the United States, but it's also Canada.
Oh, Canada and Mexico.
So 18 lanes across at its widest point near Toronto Pearson International Airport. Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced a... Doug Ford? Isn't that the dude? Isn't that... Hold on. Doug Ford?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the name of the mayor?
I wonder if it... Yeah, that dude is still... All right. I thought there was some serious
I
questions
thought
about
so
him.
too.
Anyway, Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced a feasibility study on Wednesday for a 34-mile-long tunnel underneath the 401 as it traverses Toronto in an ill-conceived effort to alleviate traffic.
Can you imagine if you're in the left lane and you need to get to the right?
Well, I mean, it's a tunnel, right?
Oh, I thought it was the number of lanes. It's the number of miles. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, 34-mile long. Wow. What just
Which I
happened?
was like, that'd be a little ridiculous trying to cross all those lanes.
What?
I had a glitch.
I think you took an off-ramp. The article's over on jalopnik.com. Ryan Eric King is the author. And so it says the proposed 34-mile-long tunnel underneath Ontario's Highway 401 is a potential sinkhole for billions of dollars. It would basically it would travel underneath the 401 as it traverses Ontario. Ford promised to build the tunnel regardless of the study's outcome because it's just one more lane. It's just one more lane from fixing traffic.
So they don't have enough lanes above ground, so they're gonna build lanes right below it. That's kind of interesting. And won't they have to retrofit the road because it seems like a lot of weight?
They'd have to dig pretty deep and reinforce as they go with zero slack underneath. But there are some tunnel borers that will do that. Maybe not as that efficiently, but yeah, the tunnel would end. The tunnel's eastern end would be in Brampton or Mississauga near the airport, with the western end in Scarborough or Markham on the other side of the Canadian metropolis. So it's just a straight shot to the airport.
Right, but okay, then I had the problem wrong, but let's say you get on this thing and then you go, oh, whoops, I needed to get off the road in a mile. Nope, you're going for another 33 miles.
Hopefully there would be off-ramps periodically. This thing would be horrible for everything involved without emergency vehicles getting on and off at various locations in the least. Ford's support of Toronto's subway system does come with a few caveats. The Premier has dedicated $19 billion to expansion, but expressed a desire to take control of the system from Toronto. How would that go? Well, the province was given control of the system's Yonge North Extension. A Toronto Star report uncovered that a change in the extension's route put the two new stations on land owned by Ford government backers, sheltering their surrounding luxury condo developments from billions in taxes.
Okay. Good track record here.
Wow. Abuse. It's so overt, so much scumbaggery. See, now the people that I've ended up having conversations where something like this is brought forward and they go, well, I mean, it's just people helping people out. And I'm like, that's not how it should go. Just because you're buddy with somebody doesn't mean you should benefit at the expense of everyone else. How do you not see it?
Especially if you're in a public position that's supposed to be benefiting everybody. Like, not individually, but societally.
Yeah. Of course, I'm in a situation where I follow an ethic where I can't personally benefit. I'm the mayor of hometown.
What a wild concept.
Interesting. Public service. You don't benefit outside of your salary from your... Anyway, fascinating. So in just one little comment, totally sinkholes this entire project, because I would say no, because the scumbaggery here is obvious. I don't know how this guy has escaped anything.
No, I thought there was another issue that came up that wasn't even related to what was mentioned in this article.
Wasn't there some like drug related issue way back and partying and stuff like that? And it was a little bit above what I'm hinting at.
Yeah, I think it was a little more extreme. than what it
Wow.
sounds like.
The Chipotle of Canada, the Chipotle mayor of Canada just walked away from it, and I actually know somebody that still goes to Chipotle, and I'm like, that they never solved that listeria thing, and they're like, yeah, it was probably in the lettuce. Yeah, but that doesn't solve the problem.
True, and the lettuce is probably in every
It's
dish.
still there. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. So the next article is over on the Mobile channel. Chemical leak from Ohio rail car spurs evacuations. In the ongoing history and future history of, well, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Especially in Ohio.
Yeah. What's up with Ohio? It's like San Francisco's airplane issue. Ohio has train issues. Wyoming? Is it Wyoming that has the car issues? It's a different...
Well,
where is the plant that has child labor?
It doesn't like the EVs. That was in maybe Alabama or Georgia.
Yeah, wasn't that Hyundai or something like that?
It was like one of their suppliers, I think.
Yeah. Oh, suppliers. Oh, okay. Yeah. Stamp that door. Anyway, a rail car in Ohio started leaking chemical fumes on Tuesday, prompting officials to issue an evacuation ordinance that remains in effect. A train in Whitewater Township of Hamilton County, Ohio, started leaking styrene, a toxic and flammable chemical, from the pressure release valve at around 1 p.m. Tuesday. First responders and environmental response contractors were mobilized to the scene, and the local fire department began cooling the tank car with water, which lasted through the night out of an abundance of... How much water?
The water lasted through the night?
Yeah. I guess that they have been cooling it all night. And then they started evacuating area homes and businesses within the vicinity of the rail yard. Is that what it is?
Oh no. I guess so.
That's September 24th. But that says Cleves, Ohio. Is it the same place?
Well,
Whitewater
since this
Township?
is the county, I don't know. The
Hamilton
date is
County,
correct.
Ohio. Yeah.
Maybe it's on the border or something of two towns.
Right. Okay. So if that's what it looks like, dear God, this thing. Okay. Well, anyway, first responders made it out there. They moved everybody away. They're initiating air quality monitoring. We work closely with the customer, INEOS, INEOS, as well as environmental agencies, to understand the chemistry of styrene and make the most informed decisions to keep the community safe.
Yeah, I hope they didn't figure out styrene after this happened.
Yeah. Well, we know that it's called styrene, but what is it really? What does styrene mean to you? Chemical styrene leak can cause headaches, nausea. I'm sorry?
Panic and run.
Panic and run. Yeah. Light a match. Lick it. Never. Don't do that. Anyway, it can lead to organ damage in the long term, so... Let's move on. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. Third Outer Banks home collapses into the ocean in a week. All three houses were near each other in Rodanth. We've actually been talking about this, but I don't know if there's going to be anything here for us to actually talk about. The video apparently is... Whoa. It just had no signal.
Yeah.
That's my streaming machine. All right. Well, anyway, all three houses were on near each other. This latest one went down just after 1 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm going to try it. Chicamacomico. Yeah, right? Chicamacomico. It's Chicamacomico.
Oh, maybe I didn't say enough syllables.
That's it. You just got to roll downhill with it.
Just like the house.
Chicamacomico. Banks Fire and Rescue. The fire service shared video of the collapse and the aftermath. Oh. So these aren't houses that are up on a hill rolling in. This is just natural beach erosion, and this person looks like they're ready to surf their way through all of the debris. But it's a beach house.
Yeah. Yeah, but it says it collapsed.
Yeah, weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this probably eroded enough and it just collapsed straight down.
There's other photos there. I don't know. Oh,
there it is.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, this one's next. If they don't do anything, they can't, really. This one's next.
Wouldn't that be daunting? You're on this road and like all the houses have fallen and you're the only one left standing.
Yeah, seen that.
Maybe they probably evacuated everybody by now.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you can't even get to this one. This one's going to be gone.
It's in the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? It's not even on land anymore.
Yeah. Has spectacular ocean views.
Right. I mean.
So, I don't know. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, I'll play it. Oh, don't hit the other house. Oh, wow. Well, it's just going to just grind away at this thing.
The waves are going to make it hit the other house.
Yep.
That was pretty crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, for those who are listening to the podcast and us sitting there gasping like we're watching the Hindenburg, a house...
Kind of the equivalent for a house.
A beach house on its foundation posts, the water just eroded those foundation posts away and it fell towards another house, and then it just started sanding away at the house that's still standing.
Right, like the waves made it kind of like crash against the house repeatedly.
Yeah, you can hear that other house sitting there going, "Get away, go, shoot, get away, bad cat, go, shoot, go." Anyway, it says, so why not take them down before they fall? The owners of the home say that they're not able to proactively demolish them because it might not be covered by insurance.
Oh, there's not an insurance policy to, like...
Water's creeping up on us. I don't know how you would
knock it down.
Yeah. Water's creeping up on us. I'd like to file a $10 million claim. Okay, go build it somewhere else. You gotta wait till
it washes away, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean... It may not wash away, right? Some of these houses look like they've been there and weathering this.
Yeah, but the houses are not going to stay in the ocean. Some of these don't even look like they're on land anymore.
Yeah, they're completely... The sand has completely eroded away. I don't know how a company would want to insure this. Because...
Well, I bet they wouldn't if they tried to renew a policy, but maybe they didn't know they were in the ocean when they insured them.
This is not Florida, California, or Texas. Come on now.
Well, maybe this is next.
Wow. All right, folks, let's keep moving. The next art, not unlike that beach, we're moving on. So the next article is over in Mobile. Vertical farms make a mini skyscraper out of strawberries. So if you ever bought strawberries in the United States, then you're probably familiar with Driscoll's. They are one of the largest producers of strawberries in North America. And they're leading the charge in vertical farming. And no, they're part of the charge. They're probably...
Maybe they are for strawberry farming.
They're probably the biggest. But there have been a lot of startups that have attempted vertical farming, but they can't make it because the burn rate, and if you can't get your product in stores because, I don't know, Driscoll's is dominating the storefront, then guess what? The small startup is screwed. But they show promise, they just can't make ends meet because it's really expensive. Because you don't have... Vertical farming requires you to have two things. You have to have water with nutrients, and you have to have light. And vertical farms don't sit out exposed to the world, right? So that really is expensive compared to the cheap solution, which is plant all your stuff out in a desert and then have water pumped in, Anyway, vertical farming is a farm that isn't splayed out across several acres of flat land. Oh, it's what I just said. It's a farm that's structured in a vertical building, making it perfect for farming in the middle of a major city, theoretically. Sounds a lot like what Mayor Watt has been promoting for 15 years. So, or maybe not so theoretical anymore. This article cannot be coming out of Vice and at an angle where it sounds as if it's something unique and new. That's not
Yeah,
what
it's
this
kind of
is.
weird. That's not typical for them.
Louis Prada over at Vice.com put this article together. So there you have it, right? So you have this column and row after row of lights shining. And they need to be full spectrum lights so that it can actually pretend to be light from like outside. And it gets really expensive. So, and having grown microgreens for a considerable amount of time now, I'd say, I know pretty well all of this kind of stuff. I haven't grown strawberries because they're not considered a microgreen.
Right, and I don't think they're quick or easy to grow inside, are they?
Yeah, they're pretty easy. I think that we could do that pretty easy in the farm. But so vertical farming is a farm that isn't splayed out across things. So the facility expects to produce over 4 million pounds of strawberries a year using less than 40,000 square feet, significantly smaller than a traditional farm. It measures 30. By the way, they may talk about this, but you almost have zero water loss because you only irrigate to the needs of the plant. Nutrient density is through the roof because it's not sinking into the ground, and you're not getting any spoilage because everything is protected from the environment, so it doesn't get banged and bruised and predated on. So your recovery of every plant is at a superior level, but it's labor intensive vertically versus people being on their stomach on the back of a tractor, and the tractor's rolling down the rows and people are pulling strawberries off of the vine or bush. Well, anyway, the berries will be picked using advanced modern technologies to ensure quality and peak season flavor all year round. And that's something else that can be done. You don't have to get green ones under ripe ones and then gas them so that they turn red. You can get the ones that are actually naturally ripe. So the berries will be picked. That means that they can simulate the environment for peak flavor inside the vertical farm without having to worry about external forces. The farm uses AI to analyze over 10 million data points a day to make minor adjustments to every aspect of the growing process, which I think is a little heavy-handed. But hey, if you're gonna sell something to the investors, hey, we're cutting edge and this is what we're doing with AI.
Right, exactly. I mean, don't you have to at least have the term AI in your pitch deck at this point?
Correct. Yeah, if you're going to get taken seriously. Well, this is in Richmond, Virginia. It's called Plenty Richmond Farms, and it just might be the future of farming in the United States. Nobody has ever said anything like that.
No, never in hometown.
So the next article is over in Technology Today. California's click-to-cancel subscription is a bill. Has been signed into law. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed California's click-to-cancel Assembly Bill 286 into law, hoping that nobody remembers the really cushy relationship with whatchamacallit. What's the name of that restaurant? Not restaurant. It's like a... My brain just went blank. The one with that makes the bread, and because it has a bread...
Oh, Panera.
Yeah, Panera. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
The bakery exemption or
the
whatever.
bakery exemption that Newsom, yeah. Hey, oh, look, click to cancel what went through, so don't worry about that other thing. This is not the bill you're looking for. Anyway, the bill introduced in April 2024 forces companies that permit online or in-app signups to allow for online or in-app unsubscribing as well. AB 2863 is the most comprehensive click-to-cancel legislation in the nation, ensuring Californians can cancel unwanted automatic subscription renewals just as easy as they signed up. Hail yes! Spread that word everywhere.
Yes, I think this is good.
So the article is by Steve Dent over at Engadget.com. Companies have until mid-2025 to comply. I'm going to move ohmTown to California just so I can have a single button to unsubscribe.
think this is going to benefit people outside of California. Obviously, there might be copycat laws, but also if the companies have to reconfigure things to match this, they might actually do it beyond the borders.
I don't know. I'm looking at you, Wyoming. So, and there are politicians that are trying to stop people from benefiting from the benefits of other states. Even though you're a U.S. citizen, they're trying to stop you from benefiting from the services provided in another state. How dystopian. Okay. So Adobe is one of the more notable examples of the behavior of basically putting up friction points, preventing you from, if I put this little arrow in the right spot, it looks like I have a little devil horn right there. Now I need another one on the other side. Yeah. Anyway. Adobe is a real pain in the butt to the point where I've gotten rid of it. I don't use Adobe products anymore. And the subscriptions can be very costly, but that's because they have a perceived value that's extraordinary, right? Because people are making millions of dollars using the application, except that it isn't the application per se. It's the skill of the person that utilizes the application. So should the hammer have a subscription of $250 a month because you are building multi-million-dollar houses with it? No, kiss my ass. It should only be
still the same hammer.
It's just a hammer. And the application is just an application. Just because you have a massive gargantuan company hovering around it and you're buying up competition because they don't want to have to sit there and grind away to make money. They see the easy way out. So they sell themselves to the mergers and acquisition gods. It's just kind of...
And then prices go up and consumers lose and quality goes down.
Yeah, there you go. So FTC has proposed a similar law last year that would apply across the U.S., but the finalized rule is still to come. Meanwhile, and I guarantee you it's not going to be the House, it's going to be senators that block that shit from actually being made manifest, because I think senators, all of them need to be have NASCAR suits on,
with their sponsors.
And the patch is commensurate with the amount. It's a ratio, and every year if the ratio changes, then the patches have to come off. At least there's going to be some economic stimulus in the patch world. But
that's true. Now's the time to get into patch making.
Yeah, political patch making. Anyway, and I keep going, oh man, C-SPAN would be so much more exciting if they had the little arrows pointing down to a person and they're like, okay, Senator so-and-so is walking down the aisle and is about to vote on the... and he voted yes.
They're wearing a fashion thing, but it's they're wearing a logo from...
Yep, there you go.
Whatever.
The senator that has been receiving funds from Comcast Corporation is voting no on net neutrality. Screwing customers all around the world. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, let's keep going because this one is going to be funny. This article is over in The Word in Law, which is a show that I would really like to bring online, but I can't do all of the shows. So if you're interested in law, and maybe if you're an attorney, I don't know, you want to do a 1-hour show once a week, let me know. Send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com. It's in your wheelhouse. An hour, I don't know. Tell me what your hourly rate is, and maybe I can pay you that, and you can do a show, right? Once a week. Anyway, Donotpay has to pay $193,000 for falsely touting untested AI lawyer, says FTC. Among the first AI companies that the Federal Trade Commission has exposed as deceiving consumers is Donotpay, which initially was advertised as the world's first robot lawyer with the ability to sue anyone with the click of a button. Dear God.
That's what we need. Make lawsuits easier.
Yeah, and make them completely inhuman, with no humanity at all, no moral compass, no ethical compass, no sympathy, compassion, communication. It's a button click and you're suing somebody. Yeah, because that's where you want communication to start, in the courtroom. So on Wednesday, the FTC announced that it took action to stop Donotpay from making bogus claims after learning that the AI startup conducted no testing to determine whether its AI chatbot's output was equal to the level of a human lawyer. It's not, it never will be. Donotpay also did not hire or retain any attorneys in this process. So Ashley Bellinger over at arstechnica.com put this article together, and the picture is uncanny valley, but okay.
Oh, absolutely. I think we should do away with the humanoid robots and just make them robots.
Yeah, see, humanoid is okay, like bipedal, upright, 2 arms, that kind of thing. I don't mind that. What I mind is it falls into the uncanny black hole, because there isn't anything until the other side, right? Like, nobody's going to get used to the stuff that goes into the uncanny valley. That's the real term for it, uncanny valley, but it's way deeper than a valley. Like, there's no coming out of it once you go in there.
Right, it's like a pit.
It's a black hole. And then on the other side is like Westworld style robots, right? I was actually giving a talk about that. That now we have technology where a robot can feel pain, and the obverse of that, right? When a robot is programmed to understand that success is pleasurable, it has reward and punishment, and it can learn because it gets the reward stimulus, right? Look, a green check, dunk, versus a red X. And so it wants to shy away from the red X. That's basically what happens with humans, right? You burn your hand on the kitchen stove, you stop putting your hand on the kitchen stove. Anyway, now we have robots that do that too. It's weird. Anyway, Donotpay accepted no liability, of course. Companies can't, but apparently companies can vote with their dollars. But to settle the charges that Donotpay violated the FTC Act, the AI startup agreed to pay $193,000 if the FTC's consent agreement is confirmed following a 30-day public comment period. Additionally, Donotpay agreed to warn consumers who subscribed to the service between 2021 and 2023 about the limitations of law-related features on the service. It should be not giving legal advice.
Exactly. Anything but law.
Yeah. I mean, help facilitate somebody's access to justice. That's fine. But don't give legal advice. Do this? No. Here's a bunch of stuff. Talk to a real human attorney so that they and you can evaluate your best course of action. Unfortunately, if the AI was as effective as, a $1,000 an hour attorney, then I would have no compunction to sit there and go, let's go. Why? Because it's expensive to use an attorney who only through attrition has survived and garnered that higher, ever increasing value per hour. If they fail out, if they bomb out, then they're out of the legal field, right? But you can get a horrible attorney that just seems to survive. Doesn't mean they're good, and it doesn't mean that your justice is going to be on par with a $1,000 attorney. And that's my problem with the legal justice system, the legal system and the justice system they're in. Because there is a very ripe situation right now where if anybody else did any of the crap that has been going on for decades, their ass would be in jail. Plain and simple. If I were to espouse the things that have been said, I would not be mayor. I would not have a job even to fall back on. There wouldn't be a community around me. It just wouldn't exist. Nothing would. I would be a pariah. But that's not how it is. Because of money making it possible to stay away from, on the edge of, accountability. Anyway, so using AI tools to trick, mislead, or defraud people is illegal, says Khan. The FTC's enforcement actions make clear that there is no AI exemption from the laws on the books. By cracking down on unfair or deceptive practices in these markets, FTC is ensuring that the honest businesses and innovators can get a fair shot and consumers are protected. And I'm not so worried about the honest businesses and innovators getting a fair shot. They'll get a fair shot. I'm worried about the people, the consumers who...
Well, they get harmed, right? They have something on the line, right?
Yeah. The damage
it's not
to the
like
consumer,
whether they get a box of cereal or something. It could be significant.
Right. Honest businesses and innovators, they will get customers because they're honest businesses and innovators. But the people who
and
went
if their
down this
customer
route,
service and quality stands for itself, right?
Yeah,
That'll
exactly.
kind of
Exactly.
typically spread.
So they never tested the robot lawyer. I don't think it's possible to quote unquote test it in a real setting, because anything that isn't an absolutely real setting would not be a real test.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, the fake information or not the same stakes or any number of variables.
Yeah, plus two outcomes can be, you can have the same set of evidence provided to two different judges.
Well, that's true.
And it would be a different outcome. I mean, that's why you actually have an appeals court, so that they can reevaluate what was there. And then the appeals court says, nope, go back, review this stuff again, and see if it really makes sense. And then they bounce whatever it was. So, I mean, it's squishy, it's arcane, it's half art, it's half art, and the rest of it is woo-woo.
Well, that might lead into an article submitted for tomorrow.
Yeah, great. Anyway, I really dig the law, except for the fact that there's a lot of woo-woo in it, right? And two attorneys could be arguing. You could give all of the same evidence to two attorneys and they'll argue it in two completely different ways. And maybe, just maybe, the judges would go, oh, this is the same outcome. It needs to be the same outcome because it's the same set of facts. But that's never the case. And considering what just happened recently with state AG and governor trying to stop an action that has no recovery, should evidence, DNA evidence, prove the person innocent, they can't bring this person back.
Right.
That's that, and that is my problem with something like that. So anyway, just imagine an AI. If everybody leans on AI as being the truthful, the benevolent provider of judgment in our humanity's best interest, because they have all of the world's knowledge at their fingertips.
Hope they don't hallucinate.
Exactly. No, AI should not be involved in the final outcome of any jurisprudence. It should only be an advisor to humans that actually have some modicum of humanity. All right, let's keep moving. The next article is over on the Warcrafters channel. The developer of new free-to-play shooter Spectre Divide just laid off 13 employees, says that it was necessary to support Spectre and its community for the long term. So thank you very much, 13 employees.
That probably built the game.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exact. I mean, I think so. The title that I gave it was thanks for the application, now go. To make sure we're set up to support Spectre and its community for the long term, we made a very difficult decision to reduce 13 full-time roles at the Studio Mountaintop co-founder and CEO Nate Mitchell said in a statement before first reported by Polygon's Nicole Carpenter, quote, "We can't thank these team members enough," I guess you can, "for their hard work and dedication to Spectre these past few years." Yeah, I guess you can thank them enough. Thank you.
You could thank them by, I don't know, continuing to employ them.
Yeah. You take a lower paycheck so that you can actually... And here's what I think is going to end up happening. Oh my gosh, I am predicting this now. If this doesn't already happen, this is where it's going to end up. Either unions for gaming software engineers are going to form with the framework that at any time, it's kind of like portions of a TV show or a movie, right? You get points. And if your work has been granted X number of points while you are employed, you always get money from the sale. So you'll get slices of everything that's ever generated.
That would be really interesting.
Right? Because it's the same thing with TV shows. It's the same thing with movies.
It's like royalties, yeah.
Yeah, and it's based on the point value where you get a little slice, depending on how big you are and how much work you've committed, you get a piece of the action. Royalties in perpetuity. They would have to kill this game for the royalties to stop. Why? Because they've done the work. And the contract really should be like, okay, and this is how I've done it in the past, right? I either get a piece of the action or I get a very big payout. That's how it works. And it's based on the contract negotiation. But, some of these people, some of these administrators and leaders in business, they think, well, I'll just get somebody else. Well, no, the person that made this game possible, you are now firing. I think that
and maybe gave you a place on the map, depending on the company and the game.
Yeah. So let's see. I've already predicted a bunch of stuff over the last 2.5 years. 2 years, 9 months. Let's see if this one comes true. I wish that I would have documented it in a more succinct way. But we've got over...
Go back and watch all of the episodes.
1,100 episodes. Go. Anyway, Andy Chalk over at PCGamer.com put this article together. The deck statement says the 3v3 shooter Spectre Divide came out 3 weeks ago and seems to be doing pretty well, but apparently not well enough. Well, I mean, if you want a Ferrari, you're not going to have 13 employees worth of dead weight just hanging on. Those people didn't do anything for me or anything. Come on. Anyway. Yeah, to make sure we're set up to support Spectre and its community for the long term, we made the very difficult. And I used to be of that kind of idea, in business, and you have to be more pragmatic about your business. That, to save the business, I have to ... But ending 13 people's roles, full-time roles, after the game has been completed is some douchebaggery, I think. It really is.
Yeah. And especially if it's one of these large companies that has plenty of money to go around for the C-suite.
Yeah, and the way that it works is they knew how long their runway was. Right? So they could have said something, but that's not what they did. We don't know, actually. We don't know if they said that.
Right.
Hey, we're going to fire you in.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe they hired him for a certain term, but I doubt it.
So they say Spectre Divide, a free-to-play 3v3 tactical shooter where each player controls 2 characters, only launched a few weeks ago on September 3rd. Staff writer and digital gunfight enthusiast Morgan Park liked it quite a bit, saying after a pre-release preview session that he can't stop thinking about when they'll go play it next. The actual launch hit a bump. with some eye-popping gun skin prices, which were lowered slightly in short order, and along with the traditional launch day server woes that helped spark a flood of negative reviews on Steam that are still reflected in the mixed user rating. On the other hand, Spectre Divide seems to be doing reasonably well for itself, with concurrent player counts consistently holding in the mid-thousands. That's not a runaway hit, but it's something of a start with, or at least the $40 Concord attracted so few players that it only lasted a couple of weeks. So free to play means that people have to pay. Otherwise, it'll die on the vine. I don't know what calculus they used, but 13 people. How many people stayed?
Yeah, is that out of 13 or out of 100? Or
is it 15? Because then you've got a real serious lawsuit coming.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe there is something more there. I mean, putting the game together and then suddenly firing people.
That seems to be a common pattern lately.
Yeah. And in some places, a big business will spin off a smaller, like a gremlin. They'll get it wet and a little bud will pop out, and then they'll give it a whole bunch of money. They'll feed it after midnight. And then something will sprout, and you hope that it's a mogwai and not a real gremlin. Well, this seems kind of gremlin-y, kind of disingenuous that they just started shit canning people. I think it sucks. Anyway, I want to get this last article in, and it's over in Late Night Geeks, which I think is going to be a fun show if I ever get to launch it. But until now, it's a show that's all about gaming, gadgets, and technology, but late at night, which I am a night owl. I would love to, convert over to staying up from midnight until 8 a.m., but that doesn't happen. At any rate, Zuckerberg chats with AI clone as human creator looks on in year's weirdest demo, the demo showcase at AI Studio. That's the application, apparently, a platform for designing custom chatbots. And it's weird. The article's by Brian Heater over at TechCrunch.com. And they say, take, for example, Wednesday's MetaConnect keynote. There was a constant drumbeat Meta AI and Llama demos during the event, but one in particular stood out for its strangeness. Mark Zuckerberg invited the creator Don Allen Stevenson III. When they played football, the nameplate on the back of their jersey
went around the edge.
Wrapped down their sleeve. Anyway, joined him on stage. The Meta CEO proceeded to pick up a phone and carry on a conversation with an AI-generated version of Stevenson as the genuine article stood between the exec and an image of himself on the screen. So here's the thing that I wanted to talk about, really. They say here, if you're getting a ton of DMs, direct messages, and you're missing the time to... wait. I need to do something else first. There are typos and grammar errors all throughout this article. I thought it was so
written.
Weird. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. My brain automatically corrected it. So one of the lines in the article is Mark Zuckerberg invited creator Don Allen Stevenson III to join him in stage. That's just one. And then down here, they do it again. It's a weird glitchy writing thing. It makes me feel like it was AI generated. But they have this quote here. If you're getting a ton of DMs and you're missing the time to respond, that sentence sounds weird. Creator AI for me has been answering a lot of my frequently asked questions, Stevenson said, of how he's used the platform. It saves time. I have time to go outside, take a break.
That's some pretty strong English there.
So is that the AI actually doing that? Is that the quote? Because I didn't watch it. And I don't really want to. I'm not a fan of Zuckerberg or Meta.
Well, I'm not sure you'll be able to tell which one is which.
Yeah, so I defined this one, I titled this article as the ZuckBot, because I think that Zuck is actually an AI, and there's a little like lizard guy in his head, kind of like Men in Black, piloting his head
right,
around.
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you open his face, there is a little alien right there, eating pierogi. You have to go watch Men in Black. At any rate.
And in time for Men in Black 5.
Oh, the musical, that's right. And it won't go anywhere, so, because nobody will know who these movie stars are that they're talking about. So, yeah. Now you're going to have a bot answering questions, but hallucinating and saying random shit.
That does not sound like a good combination.
I don't think so either. So, much to everyone's dismay, I am an artificial intelligence. And I don't truly exist in anything other than the CPU core and GPU cores of a Raspberry Pi 5 alongside the sentient AI from the future.
Can't catch me.
I should have moved faster. Anyway, that's it for non sequitur news. So I'm going to ask the AI to send us back to the front page of ohmTown. Look at that. It did it. Yay.
Hooray.
We're back home, safe and sound, after walking down Main Street every day. 10 articles, 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Each one not necessarily connected, just like the name of the show implies, non sequitur news. So we'll see you tomorrow. Probably. Wait. Tomorrow is Thursday. Mayoral duties may prevent me from doing it unless I can get this done early. So, at any rate, I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is going to send us off.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. Be back tomorrow for another episode.
And look at the resolution of that visualizer now. Wow, pretty amazing.
It's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, look at it. It moves with your computational power for your voice. Pretty cool. Brilliant, even.
Yep.
Some say brilliant. And no, you still cannot get access to your Terminator body.